All right, cool. All right, what's going on YouTube? It's going to be Donnie coming to you from Sawa, Japan. Got my guy Ryan Litteral the first time on the podcast. And also we got my guy Lexis King back just as normal. So you guys have already seen Lexis a bunch of times, so we don't get into it. So the guest of honor, we're going to have Jake Jones on. Jake, got into a little bit of stuff and is going to be on next time. So the premise of this event, there's been a lot of bullshit going around. It's straight at the top. I don't care about getting no ads because whatever and everything. So I already cussed already, so I can't get any money. But yeah, man, it's been a lot of BS going around, man, about the ARBY, man, and we got one of the most infamous ARBY drivers right here. The first time I seen you, Ryan, was with your S14, and I believe it was somewhere up in the Northeast or maybe Canada. Can't recall the exact deal, but I think it was Mike Pollard and some other stuff, and then I seen you and everything, man. I was like, just fucking do rips, man. I'm eventually going to meet him and everything, man. So, again, man, good to meet you virtually, and we're definitely going to get together, man. So, before we get into it, deeply, again, Ryan is a pro drifter on the FD USA, and I'm pretty sure other organizations, he can jump right in there and mix it up and everything. Before we get to it, guys, because I got to sell parts and everything, one of the biggest things at RBs, people knock them down and everything, but it's just you can't take an old-ass 25-year-old motor and throw 800 horsepower on. So one thing you got to do is get the CP pistons. You guys know I carry and sell and provide those. This is an 86.5 millimeter RB26 piston right here. And this guy right here, just get the manly rods. Just keep it all together. Again, the stock rods and everything do pretty well, but at the same time, you want to up it up and when you want to hold that boost down and everything, man. So you can't knock any engine out there, RB, JZ, LS, if you're running around on some stock ass parts trying to do the most out of there. So let's get that out of the way. So anyway, man, getting right into it, Ryan, man. Like before we get into the RB debate and everything, man, what got you into the car stuff, the life and everything, man? Just starting back for the guys who never heard of you, man. What started your addiction and this wasting time application and life that we live, man?
I'm kind of have a pretty bland story, I kind of got involved and introduced like everybody else. I mean, I'm gonna sound like old, but I know we can all feel the same age when I say this.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys remember that Street Fury Blue. Them Street Fury videos. That's how I saw it for the first time. I saw Pfeiffer was on there and he was talking about drifting, and they had Initial D. They had a little small excerpt on it, and I was like, man, that's just so cool. And then I would download videos on Morpheus and LimeWire. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
That's how old I am.
Tell me you're old.
You're good, man. No, you should. That was Street Fire and E-Bomb was way before YouTube.
Yeah,
and Napster and all that stuff, man. So definitely we're all in the same range, man. So that's, again, man, it's pretty cool to see the evolution of drifting and the cars and all that stuff. Now it's at people's fingertips, and guys don't take advantage of the stuff out there. So anyway, man, before we get into the current day and everything with the new car change and everything, man, we didn't talk last year, and we wanted to get you on last year, but everything was just kind of array with the COVID stuff, man. How was car side, man? How was COVID and all the preparations for you last season, man? Leading up into the doubleheaders and all that stuff.
I mean, for last year, bro, we didn't let COVID slow us down at all. We still had every event that was open, we did it. I usually have, I do have a 2-car program essentially, where I have the S14, where it's real paint, die cut livery, big wheels, RB, and that's more oriented towards the grassroots side of things, doing stuff with Grid Life or doing hoonigan appearances or other multimedia stuff, mainly just for attention. So we went out to Chicago, which was I think it was 2 months after COVID had hit, and we did the Grid Life Autobahn out there, and then we went into the streets with Larry Chen, just try to mix it up and just cruise with the local street scene. My approach to it, man, is if I can do it and if I can make it happen, I'm gonna make it happen. There's no quit in the dog over here, unless I hit a brick wall and there ain't nothing around it that I can do about it. then that just is what it is. But, if I can make it happen and I can adapt and pivot, just like any other business, you got to be able to pivot and kind of adjust with the times of what you need to do in order to survive. I'm going to make that decision.
Got you. And right before I let you get into Lex, man, that's right there what you just said. Very similar stuff to like the way I live my life, man, and like while I'm at where I'm at, man. And I know like not making the first round definitely ate at you a little bit. And I seen a post going up, man, and I seen you keeping it some guys were like jabbing a little bit too hard. And some guys if they're buddies and acquaintances and guys who accomplish the same stuff you've done, it's cool, but you got dudes that you don't know coming out of the woodwork saying you didn't show up because of ARBY and this, that, and the other. I was like, man, it's not like you didn't want to be there, but at the same time, you got to make those choices on whether to go out there and look like shit and have an excuse or just wait till everything is all good, man.
Well, that's what I'm going to do, man. Like, they can go and invest 50 G's into a motor, bro. And you let me know how you feel about it. You know what I mean? Like, that car's going to be 100. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, I'm not treating comp days as test days anymore. Like, that shit's whack. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Yeah. I'm done with it. I've been there, done that, and I'm trying to. And you know what I mean? Like, I think all of us know how that goes. You know what I mean? And like, that doesn't do anybody any good. So like, if I'm gonna spend 10 grand for an event, I'm gonna go spend 10 grand. I'm gonna go test. I'm gonna make it right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all the same to me. I'd rather come out the gate banging than just over here like, like this isn't right or this isn't right, and then come out with an excuse. Like, hell no. Like, I'm ready to bang when I get up there. You know what I mean? Absolutely. 100%. So that's my approach to it. I'm not trying to take any shortcuts on this. That's the whole reason why I built the 15 to begin with. Like, we had the Z, and the Z was fast and it had all good parts, but just like, it's kind of a similar thing where like cars get rushed, there's too many hands, like it just isn't gone through, and then you're always chasing your tail. Like, that's why I wanted to build a new car with the people that I've been working with for a long time. That's my approach to it.
Got you. Respect it, man.
Well, let me give a proper salute to the general of the ARBY Army right now. Ruffled wild feathers, made everybody take notice. He's got a whole following of just pure ARBY mans in them coming through, tagging him on stuff. So I like what you've done with just getting out there. I've even said this before. Sometimes you got to turn heel to become hero. And, I like the no bullshit approach, call people out on stuff. I'm that type of dude. And I remember, I think my first time seeing you in person, I qualified 17th, just outside of the top 16 for Top Drift in 2012 when you had the S14 all black, and I think you were on the Equips. And it was funny because, I've seen you before on internet and all of that, but you're always at those points in times I would see you were on interview mode, I guess, and you were like chill and docile. But man, when you pull up at the event, it's like, Rob, everything's loud. You hop up. What's up, dogs? What's going on, dogs? I said, oh, my man is chill. I said, okay. I see his real vibe. I was like, all right, that's cool. And then when we, I think we linked back up. I think it was 2015 or whatever, and it's been how it is, whatever, since then. But I was like, yeah, nah. There are more people than, because everybody always tries to be so spokes.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm over it. I'm over that, bro. I'm over that. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Like, I just, dude, like for real, like it's just how I've been feeling this year too, man. It's like how I look at everybody else too, man. I'm just like, bro, like you guys are just all the same, just like cookie cutter. Like there ain't nothing real about you, bro. Like you just want to do everything that they tell you what to do. Like because at my heart, I'm still a fan of the sport. Yep. And I get that. So when I look at that from a third person perspective, that's how I go effectively about my marketing. What are we missing? What points are we missing? How are we going to make the sport bigger? How is this going to transcend to the next level? It's like, bro, if it's the same shit that you've been seeing for the past 15 years, like, why keep, like, to me, it's just like, okay, it's redundant. Like it's like the same guy. Okay, there's Osbo, there's Vaughn, there's, like you just have like the same guys winning all the time. Like, bro, no one's going to care. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like I get bored of it. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I don't mean that from a competitor standpoint. I mean that from a fan standpoint. You know, like. Yeah, like, you know, like it should be fresh. And I think that, bro, like we're literally automotive gladiators. Like we should be calling people out. We should be talking shit. We should be like interacting, engaging. Like we should be making noise, bro, as opposed to like, oh, this is my buddy and this is my best bro. It's like, bro, you've known this guy you've met this guy like 3 times, bro, and you might have talked to him a little bit on the internet. The hell you know this fool, dog? Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah. Like, and people see through it too, man. You can see it in their numbers. You can see the engagement. You can see everything else, dude. Like, this is fake. This is fake. Like, I don't want to be fake. Like, I didn't get in this to be fake, bro. You know, if I was going to be fake and put on the suit and tie or this and that, I would have went to law school. You know, or I would have went somewhere else, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey, keep
like,
it real, man.
I would have really made some real money, bro, if that was about it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know. Like, that's just how I feel about it. And like, obviously, the whole thing between me and Dan, you know, like it's like a friendly type of thing, you know, but he seems to be getting a little bit sensitive about it, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me decline that.
Yeah, all good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and it is what it is. If he wants to, you know, feel a certain way, he can, and it's fine. And bro, like when I signed up for it, like I knew what I was putting myself out there to do. Like if we fail or anything goes wrong, then I got to be able to sit there like a man and take that shit on the chin.
Yeah, heavy scrutiny comes if it comes with it, you know.
And it's good, bro, because every time he posts about me, bro, I gain like 500-600 followers. My engagements are never higher, so I win either way, bro. So keep talking about me. You know what I mean?
But you know what's dope
keep
though.
My name in your mouth.
Right. So you're passionate about it. Like, people have had to have seen this. Like your grid life driving. I know I posted about it. It was you, Jake, and ZP. And just like these RB fools are nutcases. They stand on this limiter like the limiter don't matter. It's, you know, I think you were on the limiter. Maybe I counted 10 or 12 seconds straight. It was
no problem. All day.
No problem.
All day. No problem.
Man,
No problem.
Big
No problem.
rock star driving like that shit is, you know, that's a driving emotion that you don't get from a lot of people, or all we hear is LSs and V8s blaming them, but that doesn't really evoke much emotion. What I like about watching your driving and watching you get down, I don't know, you be jamming with ear pods in too?
Nah, not usually. It just like it comes from the soul, bro. It just comes from the soul. Like you're hearing it,
I was
like
gonna
it's
say
hitting. You know what I mean? It's just like like that feels good. Like that's where it's at right there. Like that's where it's at. Yeah. That's my instrument right there, bro. That's my music. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I love those in-car shots.
Again, man, that's why I had to get you on, man, because again, I've been banging with RBs here in Japan since 2008. I've had them like before Japan and everything, and the thing about it, man, when it comes down to it, my thing personally, and I keep it real with people too, a lot of new cats get in the game. They only been in the game for like 5 weeks, and all they know is LS, right? Or whatever the newest engine. Now, LS and the 2J kind of became like, this is
standard.
What you do. LS2J Wisefab. That's like your standard. That's like your starter pack and everything. If you will say that. Sure. And a lot of guys, like, you know, I see, and when I seen the thing going, I really don't follow Maximus too much, but when I seen the RB bashing, I kind of clicked on there a little bit, and I was like, you know what? Let me get these guys on there. I didn't want to post shit because you can look back on my YouTube. I got years with the same engine. Actually, got fucking props here. This crank right here, this crank right here did fucking 550 horsepower for about 8 seasons, banging on their driver, daily driving, BCU, D1, everything. It's not broken. I just took it out so it's rusty as shit, so I can rebuild the build and everything. But that's one RB25 that was used when I got it. 8 seasons, holds that turbo, 550 horsepower, and it also had the short snout on it. I didn't upgrade it. It's upgraded now, but I did all this banging on it, man. And I had good results and stuff like that. And guys are getting these engines, breaking them, and then like, oh, RBs are shit. RBs are this, and I'm like, dude, like, give it a chance. And then like,
they would have broke it with they would have broke it with anything else too. They would have broke it with anything else too, because it's an idiot that doesn't know how to like maintain it, doesn't know how to drive. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of that comes into that, bro. It's all a balance with like, bro. Like I said the other day, like on one of the comments, people are like, oh, LS this and that, bro. I went through like 2 or 3 mast engines in 2018. Like, I've blown some exotic LSs, bro. The nicest ones you could break, like splitting crankshafts, like you name it, bro. And I'm the same as you, bro. Like my first S2 that I had, bro, it never went. I actually pulled the rods out of that and put them in the Neo that I have now. Like,
I still got it, man.
800 now, bro. You know what I mean? Like, let's go.
It's sitting down there. Yeah, I mean, and like the guys are recording, like the guys out there again watching this. This is not a RB smear campaign. It's just I like the RB. If I got to choose between what I'm going to use, I'm going to use that. All my cars have them, but I build and tune other stuff for my customers out there. But it doesn't. Everything's going to fucking break, man. Yeah. Everything's going to break if you're driving it. So the guys out there again who are saying, "Oh man, my SR20." I got 20 years off of it, but you're driving in second gear and you only drift one time a year.
Right.
It's not. You're not really maximizing. You're not pushing that shit. So go ahead, Lex, man.
So not to give up any secrets of whatever you RB things or what's going on, Ryan. But can you give say I'm just jumping into it, right? Say I want to build my son an S13 with an RB25 or something. What would the basic steps be? For him, he's not, you know what I'm saying, not about to be super aggressive, man, but
just
keep him stock.
Stock, bro, stock with like a good radiator, intercooler, just like you would do with anything else, bro. Like you would do with anything else. Just use quality parts, coil makes a good radiator. You know what I mean? That you could use like a Crossflow or, a Universal Johnny or something like that. You want to, like a fat core that you want to kind of modify the core support a little bit and get a little bit bigger core in there. That's cool. But I mean, bro, stock to, 250, 278, something like that. Like more than enough with torque that goes with it. You know what I mean? And a sound that can't be beat. Like that's decent.
Right. Yeah. The sound is also great. So let's jump back just a little bit. What other cars have you piloted that you can kind of stack up a notch in your belt that made you the driver that you are?
I started out with a single cam 240 hatch. I had like blown coilovers, a VLSD. Back then there was no, this is like back in like 06. 05, 06. And, back then there was no knuckles, there was no nothing, you could get like Tane tie rods and that was like in the little spacers and that's all you could do, So then, and it was all like the low style. So it was on like 15-inch meshies. Like I love that car, bro. I was 18. I was like 4 days after 18 and I got this car. And I was just like so in love, bro. I was like, I couldn't stop drifting it and I couldn't stop driving. I actually got arrested 4 days after I had the car.
No shit.
Yeah. And then they site released me, and they kept the car for 30 days, and it was a big impound fee. But then after that, that's when I started going to like actual events. They started having events out here in San Bernardino at Orange Show for Drift Buffet, and then that's kind of like what propelled my career and like getting a foothold in running those events. But after that, I had an R33 GTST. That's when I like first had my RB experience, and then like I drove that for a long time. Then I put that car in the back burner because that was going to be my competitive car. And then I had an AE86. I had a AE86 liftback, and that was a high comp red top, and that had like manual rack, power steering knuckles, like AGX shocks, like basic kind of Corolla build. It had like all the battle version 4-link stuff on it. I mean, it was a pretty nice car, but I drove that to work. That was my daily, and then I would like drive that. I would do some street stuff with it, and I would do Adams with it. And then I got more serious with that car because my comp, the 33, was just taking so much, and I was investing so much into it. And then I put like a black top 20 valve in that with like a TRD 477 and a billet, a Weird Performance spool and billet axles. Spence, I mean, if you Corolla guys, like that's like unbreakable diff. Because even like Koki did, I was just exploding him. I was just whipping the clutch so hard.
So all you say right there, I'm just saying for me is like money. So what did you do, if you can disclose, man? What did you do like to gather those funds, man? Everybody's got a different story. I'm just curious.
I used to do traffic control for Edison. So I would do like road work and stuff. And my dad was a high voltage lineman. And so like he would like take home like copper wire and stuff for me to like strip. So I would make like some money on the side doing that. You know what I mean? Like, and just little menial jobs here and there. But for like the most part, that's literally all I would do, bro. is like
Yeah,
just drive my car. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I would make money doing like, you know, like when we go to China for WDS, they'd pay us for that. I was getting paid to do demos, like for Orange Show, and bro, they'd pay us good money to do that, bro. They'd pay us, you know, about 10 grand to go, you know, and they'd pay for your car. You know, you had a car to drive. They paid for all your, like, we were rock stars, bro. And I was only like,
Is that the same joint with is that the same joint that Jake was at, or was that a different one?
No,
Jake went to China as well.
No, wasn't this you, Kyle Mohan? What's your name? Yeah, Ross. Y'all were fucking people cars up too.
Yeah.
So what were those cars set up like? Were they just
How was that?
Were they just loosely set up or what?
How was the girls? Yeah.
I got some funny stories we could talk off camera about that. I'm gonna put my PR face on for that one, bro. I'm gonna put my PR face on for that one. But no, man, those cars were like owned by WDS, so like they like reached out to one of the guys out here, and their responsibility was like getting us like proper cars to go over there. But when we got them, they were just like basic beginner setup cars, and then the Chinese guys had like full on prepared cars from like June, like straight up top secret, like, you know, back then, bro, 2006, you know, 2007, they had left-hand drive top secret S15s, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like serious. And so like we knew we were never gonna win, like we were just over there to be dog and pony show. So Ross got upset and he was like, you know what, we're just gonna demo derby these cars.
So we get
real cars.
That
you know,
sense.
so like that was, so it was like, but then like people loved it, like the crowd loved it, like we loved it.
Yeah.
So we just drove like that. You know what I mean? Like it was, it was a good time, bro. It was a good time.
That was the Matsuri drift missile before the drift missile
Dude,
kicked off.
I'm telling you,
I think we started that.
You guys and Mike Pollard were the first people I seen absolutely destroy. Remember Mike Pollard had that American flag painted S13? He wadded the fuck up in Missouri. But you guys, I used to sit at the computer like, yo, they are wilding with these. I was watching it, and y'all be standing on the cars, busting the windows out, going crazy. I was like, all right, these dudes are going hard. You know, standing on the roof, cheering to the, you know, getting the crowd hype. It was more of a, it was a performance. It was like just a dope, like a performance experience. You know, you got to see who driving. It wasn't like y'all were driving trash. Y'all were just handing out door to door and staying on each other, bending every panel they had. That was pretty sick. I forgot about that. Who was out there?
Man, and that's what made it fun. That's what made it fun, bro. You know, we really made those trips memorable, and that's why they continued to have us back. And you know, it was really cool to be a part of that. It was crazy when I went back in 2013. They got Vaughn involved, and it was like a completely different vibe. You know what I mean? It was a completely different vibe. Those days were definitely gone. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's still. We were still in cars that were like halfway prepared, and other than the bigger guys, you know, obviously Vaughn had his stuff together and he's got, you know, quite a few cars that he has access to that he can kind of ship, and other guys that he can hire to go work on his stuff. But, you know, I mean, he's at the level where he has access to things like that, you know, so.
Just speak on that real quick on that, man. It's like kind of it's almost like if you look at F1 or any other, like NASCAR is a little bit different because NASCAR, they all got to have like pretty much the same regulations across the board, and they got to, you know, they can do little tweaks here and there, but not much. F1, you kind of got they all fucking million billionaires, but then you even see within that who has the most money, BMW, Mercedes, BMW, whatever. Yeah. And then like that. So in the drifting aspect, man, do you see it coming down to a spec type build, or you think they're going to keep it open, or like what's your thoughts on that? Like good or bad, man?
I think that, you know, obviously they have like their spec series will be the pro spec series, and I know that they're you know, I think the intention is like to have like a car that's built around like a specific spec where, like, say, you know, I had the 14 and I want to convert that over to that, where it's like you have other drivers that are going to dip down to drive in a spec series along with like the up and comers. But I think Pro 1, bro, is going to be unlimited. And to be honest, I think just the level is going to be is just going to keep progressing. Like even with the 15, bro, like everything that we've done with that car is definitely next level build for sure.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure, man. So, what would you say? Like for me, me and Lex talked about it before, man. For me, the turning point in FD was when Daigo showed up, and it just seemed like right after that season, it just like the power was like okay before that point, and then right after that, it was like motherfuckers were like 14, 13, 12, like you know, horsepower wise, man. Have you seen it that way, or you think it's going to change further, or just pretty much stabilize?
No, I think it's going to stabilize because it's come to the point now where, like, even like with the Z last year, we were up to like 1280, 1300. But the problem when you run up that high is your tires don't even last.
Yeah,
So
flash.
you really have to kind of balance the life of the tire with the power of what you're actually putting to the ground. Because like I would be like trying to pedal the car essentially down the straight just to get the hook up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then like you're getting burned. So it's like anything, you know. It's the same thing with drag racing too. Like a 700 horsepower car can beat a 1400 horsepower car.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So when you first got that endorsement in coming from Pro-Am to Pro Series, were you like, hell yeah, life's dream fulfilled, or were you like, oh shit, here we go, time to break this bread?
Dog, like at first, like, you know, like, yeah, it was like, dang, like I actually did it, like, you know, and I never really like thought it was achievable, because especially like back then, even like when we were doing it, Lex, like it was way different, like the driving was different, like the people, like it was pretty serious, you know, like you had some like really good drivers. Pro-Am's kind of weird like that. Like even like when Justin came up, you had like Mordaunt, you had Rusnikoff, you had Powers, you had Roberts, like you had some very, very good drivers that were driving, you know, and now it just seems like there might be maybe 3 drivers that are good and the rest are kind of fillers, you know what I mean? Just being real. Just being real. People haven't been driving long enough, bro. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like I drove for about 8 years before I even like considered that I was like, and I had driven with a lot of people and I'd driven a lot of different cars and I drove a lot, you know, like I was like, okay, like I think I'm up to par now, you know, and I'm still learning as a driver, even to this day. Like I always want to learn. I never want to plateau and be like, no, I know it all. I know how to drive everything or do this and this and that. Like, I don't want to live my life in absolution like that. I always want to be a student so I can always be growing, you know? But, I just think that, when I achieved it, it was like a huge weight, like it was a huge accomplishment for myself, right? And I was like, dang, like we actually did that. And then when I got there and like I started understanding, and then like the price is exponential, I was like, well, dang, like I better start taking this more serious, because like, you know, like my family isn't going to be able to afford this. You know what I mean? Like, and I wanted to do it on my own too, man. You know what I mean? It was like me coming into my own as a man. We're like, okay, well, like I'm here, like this is pro, like I might as well make this my career, you know, like I don't want to do anything else, you know?
Right. So, yeah, you gotta be full in, man. Like that's what I think a lot of guys don't understand with the again, I'm 38. So I see a lot of guys. I've been inactive for 5 years running my business here, man. So I got pro license and pretty much disappeared. And you know, guys calling me out like, "Hey, man, you quit?" I'm like, "Nah, dude. It's just, again, I don't want to show up half-hearted. You want to show up and fucking win." Being in Japan, man. Have you been in Japan before, Ryan?
Never, bro. All
right, so definitely doors open. I got cars here. They're not on the. I got various cars and everything, but the Japanese man, just like you mentioned.
Me and Lex are coming.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get shit together, man. So just like you mentioned, JR and Osbo and the household names there in Japan, the guys are getting older. So like, you know, Nobu Ken retired, Taniguchi's out of there, Arito. So there's a passing of the guard right now going on, but they still holding on to that guard, man. So me being a foreigner, you got to come 180% to even fucking have a chance. If you straighten up just a little bit, you're out of there. Like you're not. So me, I was like, man, let me chill. Let me get the business going where I'm 5 years in, got trucks. I got more support. So when I return now, there's no problems. So with that, man, it's just like, you know what I mean? Guys just don't understand, man. Like you going from like doing a figure 8 and then doing a local event and then trying to jump in the pro spec. Like even at that, that's a little, like you said, it's too quick, man. You got to get some skin in the game and maximize that money, man. That shit's gonna be gone. Or you just want to be one of those guys like me and Lex talked about that's just happy with showing up. And I know you're not that guy.
Nah.
You're not.
No. Like I take it way too serious for that, bro. Like I was like that, you know, even last year, you know, and like that's cool, bro. But it all depends on who you're working with too, man. But you know, some of the people that I'm working with right now, you know, like they value those results, bro. You know, and that puts a lot more added pressure to you too. And it's just like, and that's why, bro. Again, like I'm not gonna step foot on that track until that car's 100%. Like I'm not gonna go there and then have them like, you know, snub their nose or whatever. Like, nah, like we're here to bang. We're here. We mean business.
I respect it. I seen it. I respect it. It's like instant respect. People got to be in those shoes. They got to be in that place before they can even understand.
Yep.
So again, I kind of read through the comments like on the toilet because that's the only time I get time to read and everything. And so I'll be on the toilet. I'm like, this motherfucker don't understand what's going on. And it's like it takes all the guys, all the OGs, all the people who've been there and know what it's about. They not commenting on it because they know exactly what you're going through. And again, to spend a lot of people don't know the entry fee costs. They just think it's $30.
Well, you know what though?
10 grand. It's 10 grand.
Yeah,
for a year,
I was just gonna say. Yeah, I got because rolling with my homie through his journey, I got to see a very different life of what pro drifting was. Right. So what Justin was doing his thing in 05, 06. Coming through Nopi, like there's really no I guess big media feeder series, like because remember there was Nopi and then there was Formula D. They kind of ran parallel, but the guys could go into Formula D and do pretty good with the cars from Nopi. But now it's just like you don't have anything to compare to this financial commitment, this traveling commitment, this driving commitment, how much power and everything these cars have. You really got to be really laser focused. And it was really cool because I don't know, up here in NorCal, I generally don't see a lot of drivers, especially the pro drivers, hanging together. But every time you know, when I'm down south with y'all, you, Ken, Justin, you know, everybody's like hanging. You know, you guys come across each other maybe once or twice through the weekend, and you know, y'all get tutelage from each other. You kind of get, like Justin told me, because all I wanted to do was hit Pro-Am All-Stars, right? That was my only goal. But they canceled it the year that I was third in points and was like whatever, and then I kind of lost my motivation. But all I wanted to do was go hit Irwindale in my baby girl. You know what I'm saying? That was my only goal. And then Justin was like, well, if that's your only goal, that's dope. But this shit is like for real. This is not for play. Yeah. Like I know how hard you work.
No, it's not for fun, bro. It's not fun.
Right. Yeah.
They're serious, bro. They're serious. Like you start getting investment, bro. Like, you know, they want you have performance goals and incentives that you need to hit your marks. You know, if you don't hit your marks, then you're not going to stay in the game. You know what I mean? Like, I think our saving grace is just like we've been able, like I had mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, you know, it's like we don't take no for an answer unless there is absolutely no other option. But you know, we're always in this. Like, I will literally go to the street. Like, I'll do whatever it takes to get it, to make it happen. You know what I mean? I got it. I'm about it. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. It's my life, bro. You know, like I'm not married, got no kids, no nothing, bro. Like this is it. You know, like no house, no nothing. It's just the cars, my team, and the road.
You're damn right. Yeah.
It is real, man. Hey, real quick on that, like what you just named with that stuff, man. And I want to get on this because Lex, again, we brought it up last time. You know, LZ doing the thing he did with the stuff when he pulled his stuff off and pretty much sponsored himself, which is a cool feat, man. What's your feelings on that? Like, you know, that move, and also like this in a nut, just a little bit, man. Cause
Ryan vlogs too.
Yeah. We'll put all the stuff down in there, man. But like, what's your feeling on that, man? What's your feelings on? I mean, you don't got to stay on it too long, man. What's your feelings on? LZ and everything coming in.
I mean, you're good. I mean, that's smart, bro. If I was in the position to do the same thing, I would. You know, if that's out there to, you know, it's kind of like how Brian. I was watching this podcast of Brian Deegan, and that's kind of like where he was at with Metal Militia, and he was like, well, why am I having all these working for all these other companies when my company's big enough to like do our own thing? So if you reach that level where you can transcend that, and you can kind of pick and choose who you want to work for, but if you're trying to build an empire, then that's a smart business move to make. You know what I mean? If you have that resource to push your brand to the next level, promoting yourself. I think if he was smarter, he would start getting more people underneath his umbrella, and he would start to really kind of transcend and to kind of build an empire that way, as opposed to, that's how I kind of feel with Hoonigan too, where I feel like it was a big missed opportunity. You know, they had Ken, and you know, but it was all solely focused on him, when they have that vibe and they have that edge where they could have been like a Baker skate company, you know, where you have like a multitude of riders and a multitude of a multitude of drivers with a completely different, diverse background, and showcase them and made them like a big thing. And then it's like, oh, well, I like this guy. You know, like if you watch like a skate video, you have like, you know, the one guy's on Baker. This guy is like, you know, he's more into like rap music, and he's got like the baggy pants, and he's got like the.
That's how I came
Jordans
across
on.
Terry Kennedy. I came across Terry
Exactly.
Kennedy.
Exactly. But then he's kicking it with Greco. You know what I mean? Like he's skipping it with Jim Greco, and he's like totally gnarly. Yeah, you know what I mean? And now you're blending culture and diversity, and now it's like, but everybody's under the same umbrella and everybody's winning, so you're cornering the market because you have mass appeal. You know what I mean? So I think that if he could do that and he's thinking bigger, then I think that's a way to go about it. You know what I mean? But I mean, obviously he has a big enough following where he's probably making enough to kind of be on his own. But yeah, that's what I got to say about that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's respected, man. That's real. You know what I mean? Keeping it real and everything. So when it comes down, like far as LG thing, man, like that, for me, it's kind of the same thing. You know, it's like I'm not, at the time I had like a few 15% off stuff and things like that. So now I pretty much clean my car out. Now I got a business. You know, 5 years ago I was like not begging for shit, but like trying to work with guys and like build that relationship. And then my business starting was not a planned thing. It just kind of, the building was open. I was like, I got $5,000, buy that shit and let's see what happened. And it worked out for me a lot better than I thought, to be honest, even my hard work and stuff like that.
Hold on, you bought a building for $5,000 in Japan?
Well, I rented.
Oh, I was about to say, hold up, bud. I'm about to see.
No. Well, I had to pay 3 months in advance and shit, man.
Yeah.
And after that, so I mean, I paid the 3 months in advance, and I didn't. That was it. That was my savings from selling fucking weak ass, work your lines and shit. So I gave them that, and I had a month to come up with everything, and I pretty much been doing that since, to be honest, to keep it real, because shit's rolling good, man, but it still ain't. I ain't got that 1 year, 2 year buffer of money in the bank.
Right.
So that's why when dudes come to my lane, like, Lex, and like, hey, I keep it short, keep it sweet, and keep it real, man, because I ain't got time for bullshit going backwards and stuff like that. So, man, it's very respectable what you're doing, Ryan, man, and all that stuff, and coming up, and like you said, man, it's you know what I mean, your thing was just to keep it minimum, no kids, no wife, no house, and that's respected. You know what I mean? I wasn't gonna have none of that shit 8 years ago. So just pop back in, okay?
Yeah.
So you got the So yeah, man. So like, based. All right. So with the car and everything right now, as you stand right now, if you can speak on it, definitely. Again, don't want to put any classified information out there. But are you gonna make the next round, or are you good to go?
Yeah, we're gonna be good to go for New Jersey. We're gonna fire up probably this weekend or next week, and then we'll do testing and tuning next week, and then I'm gonna try to test at least a couple times to really get the car dialed so we can show up and be ready to perform and put on a good show.
Awesome.
That's what I was going to ask.
I'll be looking out for that social media shit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Had you driven it or tested or even shaken it down yet?
I haven't even fired it up yet. No.
Yeah.
Taking my time. Gonna triple check
Yeah.
that bad boy, bro. Because we're going to
Going to the moon.
We're going to
Hey, man, because when you, like, kind of going back to the beginning real quick, because you didn't mention it, and I felt that shit to my core, because my first drift event pro was testing a car out. Like, I didn't drive the car. I drove the car to alignment shop, to my house, and to the truck. What was your worst experience, man? Like, or some shit you would advise people not to do, far as like, stuff to do and not to do when you test on the car at the event, or even if it's advisable, man, straight up with that.
I mean, it's the same thing, bro. Like, just kind of, like when I got that day at Horse Thief, Lex, that you saw me in 2012. That was a car that we had just debuted, and we had missed the first round because the tuner that we were working with basically ghosted us. We built this car to his specification. It was a guy that we really respected and trusted, and then he kind of like ghosted us. He went through like some weird mental thing, and then we were like, well, what are we going to do? Like, we did all this extra work. So then we had to like that's when we got linked up with Koji Arai, and then Koji like tuned the car. And then we're like, well, we got to test it. And then we still had a few more things left to do on the car, and then we did that. And then we found a place where we could actually go test. Because, bro, I had like no money. Like me and Andrew were living at the shop. I had this $2,000 Power Stroke diesel van that I would basically like live out of most of the time. Like, and like everything was tied up. Like this is like here. I don't know if you were over here during that time, but this is kind of like really when like the effects of the like 2008 financial crash really kind of like you really started to feel the effects of that. It really affected everything. And like I was really like on my own. So I was like, and that was why I was working with Andrew, and we were trying to build this shop. And that's the only reason why we wanted to go into professional competition anyway, was to like market for a business, to grow that.
Right.
Because before that, bro, like if it was just me on my own, like my own selfish endeavor, I didn't care. Like I love driving, and I love I love my Corolla. I love like what I was doing. Like I was totally cool with that. But then it was like, well, if we get more awareness on our business, we're going to make more money. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be broke, so let's do it.
I mean, hey, that's real, man.
Yeah, no, for real. That's what we did. And we had one test day. And bro, I had these tires that Pat gave me. They were like some Toyo R1R proxies. Used tires from him and Reese when they were on Toyo, and I held on to them, bro, for like 4 years. And like they were already like halfway used. But bro, I knew like we had like maybe like a couple laps, and we didn't build that motor that was in that car. I just like had that engine sitting on the side that I bought from somebody else, and it had like hella blow by. We knew we were just like kind of nervous. We were like, well, we just drive the car minimally, just get a feel, and like just go out. So like then that's what I did. Like we drove a little bit for the day, and then like we got the car feeling relatively okay, and then I knew the next day like I had to bang. You know what I mean? So like then I wound up winning the event. But just make sure that you just do all of the detail stuff in order for the car to run and be reliable. You got to do that. Like make sure the steering isn't binding, make sure your handbrake works, make sure like, the engine, like everything else, there's no hiccups, there's no BS that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like operating temps, like basic stuff. Like, you could get all geeked out with and be like, oh, I need a front bar, like all this other shit. Nah, fool. Like just make sure that shit's good to go, dog. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you don't need that. Like just make sure you feel confident in your car, because then you're going to be a more confident driver. It's all mental, bro.
No doubt.
It's all mental.
No doubt. So, hey, Lex, real quick, man, because you're talking to two guys who have thousands of hours on an RB platform sideways. So for yourself, man, I never asked you this, man. Have you ever drifted an RB car?
Yeah, R33. I've driven so many cars. I've kind of when I first started out, that's what I was trying to do to see if I wanted to commit to this RX-7, because I hadn't put a lot of money in it. Even though I was street racing and doing everything, it was powerful. It wasn't set up to do shit but grip and go fast.
Right.
So I was driving any car anybody said, hey, you want to? Hell yeah, sir, give me them keys. And I would go bang it. So I even had a RB20 S13, and I drove that around for a minute. I was like, man, this is a blast. But one day I never popped a hood. I bought it from him, never popped a hood. The fucker had a motor mount that was just 1/4-inch steel. They were just... And I always wondered why you got that bobble. You would clutch kick it and feel it do-do-do-do in the drop.
Yeah.
Because the motor was on trampolines, basically. It was just... So I sold that out of there. And so I've driven a few RB cars, and I was like, I enjoyed them because of the grunt and the quick spool that they've always had, but always stock turbo RB.
Right.
Okay.
I've enjoyed them, and the R33 felt like a S14, and it was just...
Because it is.
Yeah,
it is with an A-arm and a longer wheelbase.
It pretty much. This is exactly the same. That's the same thing with the R32. People like it's a glorified S13, man. Yeah. It's the same fucking like most of the roll cages. You can fit them in there a little bit. The dash is the only thing that changes it. Yeah. The 33 is the 33 is the S14. 13 is the SD32, and then the 34 is the Maxima that a lot of the strippers used to drive with the circle lights,
the Max,
and the backgrounds and shit. Yeah, those. That's a stripper. That's a stripper in an RN car,
What's
man.
the 4-door?
Stripper
the Japanese stripper.
Yeah.
R34s definitely give off maximum vibes.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same show, man. But hey, Ryan, if you had to pick one, I always ask my RB guys there because the RB 20, the 25, the 26, the 30, man. What RB would you, if you gun to your head, end of the world, apocalypse time, you got to build a Mad Max type car, man. Which RB you going with and why?
You know, bro. I mean, 20, 25 Neo. 26. I mean, those right there, bro, are probably my go-to right there.
Gotcha.
25 Neo, I've had some good luck with now that I have it like dialed, you know. But bro, even the Series 2, that's a stout motor, you know. As opposed to like the hydraulic lifter, you know, if you bang on it too much, you kind of got to let it off and then kind of like barely like hit the throttle and recharge the lifters a little bit. But can't really go wrong. I'm not really a big 20 fan. I'd rather go SR than have 20. Yeah, I said it.
You know what I mean? I mean, they're just old technology, truck motor shit, right?
Yeah, they get raspy. I just actually was tuning SR20 R32 yesterday, and I SR. My thing with the SR, man, is back in the day I had a single cam KA. I eventually got the D, and then I went KT. Back in the time, I couldn't afford the SR, man. So I was around a crowd of dudes. It was SR20, CA, or nothing else. And I'm like, man, and they look down on you and shit, man. So I was making more power with a whole set turbo slapped on my KA than the SR guys was. So I had resentment for the SR because the way that people treated me.
Right.
And then also the S13 SR had nothing but bad luck when I did use it for one season. Got that shit out of there, RB in there, no problems and everything, man. So I don't dislike the SR and everybody thinks I do. It's just everybody got their RB, man. RB this vibes with me, man. It just does everything I needed to do. You know, I mean, I respect and build other engines, but that's just my thing, man. And some guys just, again, with the RB debacle and debate, I'm just glad that you held on to it, man, because a lot of guys get peer pressure and they want to get the LS7 twin turbo. Supercharged nitrous and all that shit, man.
The grass ain't greener, dog. Grass ain't greener. Grass ain't
especially
greener.
when it breaks. Look.
You got instead of 6, bro, you got to buy 8. Instead of 4, you got to buy 8. You got 8 injectors. You got 8 rods. You got 8 pistons.
That's 2 more, man.
You got big money. You got extra money over here buying things at 8.
Yeah.
What's up?
So even the Japanese with the LS, the guy that just won D1 GP last season, my local track driver, Masanori. He went through 3 LSs in one season because he was driving like an SR, and also they didn't have AccuSump. They didn't have they just didn't have the knowledge, the years of knowledge. So he's like, all right, LS out, 2J in. He wins the championship or whatever. But before that, they were blowing SRs like candy. They wouldn't build them. They would just take that SR out, put that shit in, slap the turbo on it, fucking 800 horsepower, and then blow it. And then that's what Nakamura does. But people don't know that. They think he's running one SR. Like, nah, that motherfucker blows those bitches up, man.
Oh, yeah.
He gets them out of there.
He blew it up when he came out here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That motherfucker do not. Yeah.
Annihilated. Totaled the car in a day, bro. Totaled it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've driven with quite a few drivers, like from all the whole FD series and abroad, like the OG cats. Yo, damn. It seems like we're talking about a world away. Remember when Zip Tide All-Star Bash, you actually had to be part of Zip Tide and get approved?
I've seen them.
If there were if you could assemble like the dope OG squad of drifters from, let's just say SoCal, because there's a lot of legendary dudes from SoCal, California area. Who would you?
If I could have a dream team
or a team tandem like Winter Jam team tandem.
It'd have to be Justin, Forrest, and Ross, bro.
Wing,
I remember going to D1 at Anaheim, seeing that motherfucker drive in real life, and was like, Jesus Christ, like, dude.
Yeah, Forrest gets down, dog. Forrest gets down. Yeah. Forrest gets down. He's no joke. Like, that dude is a very, very talented guy. He's a very talented.
Is he gonna make a comeback?
Nah, man. He's a dad now, man. He was just like, he was like, I thought about it. He just said that he wanted to miss it a little bit more. He wanted to stay home with because he just had a new baby and they just moved into a new house. So he wanted to, he just kind of wanted to live at home with his family and just kind of enjoy that. And, he's been going hard for a long time, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
respect it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't matter. He can. That's the cool thing about what he's done, man. In the time frame that these guys come along, yourself included, with the social media, man. It's like your actions are solidified, man. You can stop right now after this podcast, and you still done more than millions of people will ever do, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what guys don't get is like you have the skin in the game to kind of do that, man. And guys, some new guys when they get in the game, they can't move around too much because they got to do what others want them to do or what the company want them to run. I want you to run this Ford engine, or I want you to run this barrel or whatever. So it's nice. I mean, again, man, I'm just happy that you kept with the RB, and definitely will be rooting for you for that reason alone, man. It's just,
I appreciate
even if
it.
I didn't know you or met you, just to hear that engine amongst all of the NASCAR engines.
You know why I
be kind of cool, man.
with RBs? So they don't sound better than rotaries. Just, you know what I'm saying? Nah,
whatever.
But now the reason I fell in love.
Hey man, real friends don't lie to you.
You're 2 to 1 right now.
Hey man, the reason I fell in love with them because remember the old Japanese sports car racing, the JSCC or JSS before it became JGTC. Right. All it was RB versus everybody else was in the dust.
Right.
It was just cars, and all you heard screaming was rotaries and RBs, and I was just like, damn, yo. So I remember. Yo, you remember Winter Jam? What was that, 2016 or 17 when you jumped in behind me and Darren?
17.
17.
Yeah.
So Darren, we looked at each other and said, yo, fucking go, because this nigga coming, right? And I don't know if, I don't remember what happened with you.
I had the worst experience of that event. My car was just so dilapidated.
Broke the axle and all this shit.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah,
so bad. You were jamming too, bro. You were jamming. That's when you were driving a lot.
I was driving a ton, dude. And I was like, all right, Ryan's behind us. I said, all right. So if anything, we got to ride, right? And I remember we blasted out into the open, boom. And I just heard, sweet. I was like, God, this nigga came here. That was so damn fun, dude. That was so fun. I was heartbroken when they said you broke your axle. I'm like, oh, we can't go again? I'm like, nah, because, that's part of that whole event. Like, my only thing is I mess around and I run staff and meet and greet everybody and what's up. But, man, when Team Tandem comes, everybody, I'll holler at y'all in a minute. We got to go suit up and ride. That's my shit.
Well, you know what? Are you going to run this year? Are you going to run if they have it this year?
Oh yeah, we have it this year. We just opened up for spectators and passengers.
Nice.
That's why I haven't driven. I really, literally with this car, I really just want to drive with the likes of y'all and everybody else that really gets down and jam. Because when you get to the point where your car got some grip and everything, it's real tough. Handbrake, clutch kick, and I'm on the stock transmission, so I don't want to.
You gotta be easy with it.
Yeah,
you gotta be easy. You gotta be easy with it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if we open up, but our world is pretty much opening up. So yeah, we'll be good to go.
Well, I'll have to try and make an appearance out there. Then I'll bring the 14 out for that.
14, because well, you gotta bring this. Well, no, you got a 2-car trailer, or?
No, I have 2 1-car trailers. Like I have the 44. You could put 2 cars in there, bro. Like if you were just transporting the cars themselves.
Yeah,
but
no
if you want
bumpers.
to operate those cars, no, man. I need that's my goal for next year, bro. That's like, it's like the money that I do get, it's not bad. I'm very grateful for all the support that I do get, but I need to. I'm hoping to get more so I can invest more into my fleet. I would like to get a bigger trailer. I'd like to get more things for activation and just more. Just keep investing.
Your pit area looks solid as shit, though. I mean,
I've been working on it. We've been working on it, yeah. And GT has the nice tents, and that's a really nice addition to the professional aesthetic. And then when we're not with GT at FD, we have our Power Stop tent. That's a really nice tent that they had made for us, and we try to keep it nice and looking cool. Like we always have all our wheels. I'm a big wheel guy. That's what I thought was funny, bro. Like LZ posted all those wheels, and I was like, dog, I got like 80.
Been doing that, yeah. I remember seeing Pro-Am, and
they're all gangster, dog.
Yeah, that was my concern. I said, how cuz gonna keep a transmission together? It's like, that's his problem, I guess. But running all them big ass wheels, man.
The G-forces and the dog box transmissions, they're pretty stout, bro. They're pretty
Was
stout.
that what
And
you
then
were running back in the day?
I had in 2012 I had a 25 transmission, but I went through 3 of them because and then what I was doing, because RB 25 transmissions are so expensive, Z32 transmission is same. The only thing that's different is the rear tail shaft is shorter and the shifter style is different. So there's a local trans shop down here because I don't have a case splitter, you know what I mean, or a gear slider.
Yeah.
I would just pay them like $200 and they would just like take all the internals out, like all the good stuff from one trans, and then like put it into the RB25 case. So then that way I would just like always have a fresh transmission. So I would get away with getting these Z32 trans for like, $300 and then paying like another $200-300. So I'm only like $500 because then like a 25 trans is like $800 to $1,000, you know?
Yeah.
So
no, I just spent $1,600 fucking last night for one, dude.
Oh yeah, even
Japan.
For you over there, that's too expensive.
It was low mileage. It's like the thing is, there's three trans online, and then they got all the new ones. So I mean, the brand new ones are 28, but they're back ordered for like 4 months. I need one like now.
Right.
So man, I had to fucking. I'm like, man, I was like, fuck, dude. I clicked buy on that shit. Like that shit, I was irritated as fuck. But I was like, I'll be able to slide, but you know what I mean? But, yeah, man, it's And on that, man, like, what's your thoughts, man, on the market currently, man? Like everything is it's going up.
It's going up. It's going up.
You're breaking a lot of shit.
Yeah, bro. I think that it's just an opportunity, man, for people to kind of, like my big thing, bro, is like, people will look at my stuff and be like, oh man, it's so expensive and blah blah blah. But it's like, bro, like I buy shit, like, bro, that Mid Valley 4-speed that I have on the 14. That shit's 7 years old, bro. You know what I mean? Like at 7 years old, I've never broke it, and I paid $5,000 for it. How many transmissions? How many stock 25 transmissions do you think I would have went through in 7 to 8 years?
Exactly. I remember when that.
You know what I'm saying? I like to buy things once, bro. I like to buy things once. Same thing with my wheels. How many wheels of mine have you seen crack? 0. Like how many like even like all my engines, this and that, like, bro, like, my last RB was 7 years old. The other one, I had some minor problems with it, but it's still good, you know what I mean? But like, everything else that we've had, bro, the turbochargers, the manifolds, the wastegates, like everything that I have on my car is the best that you can get, and it lasts forever. If you're just going to skimp out, like, and try to use like old used shit, I know it's tough because like things are expensive. Yeah, but bro, buy it once and be done. Like, be done with it. Like, so I think with like the scarcity of parts, it's just an opportunity for businesses and companies to kind of take notice and take heed and start remanufacturing these things up to a higher standard, and just in making it, then that way they can buy aftermarket. They don't have to buy OEM or having to source something. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
for sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's been real solid watching your growth, man, and I'm excited about this car because not only will you be pushing that level of style and flair, pulling up to your top 16s, because that's all I suggest. That's all I'm gonna expect from you. I think you've got specifically the mindset. And I know how just simply turning that switch on the mindset will exponentially step up your drive. And you've already got the talent and the experience. So, I'm just really going to be Jersey. I forgot they put that back on the schedule. But,
and that new track. So new car, new track. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
Definitely looking for.
Has there been any RB podiums? I've been out of the loop for a while on FD.
Me and Kevin
2 years ago.
Me and Kevin only in Pro 2. Me and Kevin Lawrence. That's it.
Nobody in Pro.
No, other than like Takatori. I think Takatori did.
But that was back in like.
06.
Yeah,
something like that when he drove that Autoback.
The Missouri paint joint.
No, that's a different one. That's Signal.
Oh that was Signal, huh?
You had that, and then Takatori came over with the Autobacks one.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was a monster in that car. He was banging on everybody in that car.
That was
banging on everybody in that
stages
car,
of the
bro.
U.S. drivers. Yeah.
Yeah, I just, man, again, man, this just makes me happy to see, like, because it's not saying you can't drive other shit, but I've seen so many buddies abandon the RB based on some shit that buddy said, like, you know, the oil pump always breaks or this, that, and like, dude, if you're just in, again, second gear, just fucking shift up, number one, go faster. If you're just banging the shit out of the fucking limiter, it's like, dude, like, everything's mechanical. It's mechanical parts.
Yep.
Ferraris break, F1 cars break, so let's put that shit to the side, man. Everything's gonna break. But if your inputs, like, if you're, like you said, Lex, if you're fucking clutch kicking with a fucking triple Plato grower clutch and you're e-braking, what's gonna happen to that drive shaft depending on
depending on your power?
You're gonna break that fucking drive shaft. You're gonna break the input shaft, output shaft. You're gonna break the U joints. Something's gonna give, man.
Yeah, Justin always told me.
It's just finding your style. Finding your style and having something that you resonate with, that you want to attach yourself to, not what everybody else wants you to do or what you think that like I need to do this and like I'm only going to be cool ever if I win, or like that's only everybody's going to care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, man, like that's not just winning. Like winning isn't just it just isn't first place, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's winning is just like this huge accompaniment or like this huge like formula. You know what I mean?
Work
of a
effort,
multitude of different things that
everything.
you need to. Yeah, man, it's way more than that. And like to me, it's like I just want to be known. Like I stayed true to what I wanted to do. Like that was it. Like I had the courage to do so, and I respect the people that are doing the same thing. You know, like Skylines are better than Supras, and that's just the way it is. It's always going to be that way.
Let me put that out right there, man.
Yo, you know who I was talking to? I was talking to Donovan Brockway last week, and he was like, man, bro, I was getting burnt out. I was fucked up in my thinking. I just was trying so hard to be pro and this and that, and he just got back off a drift week. And he was like, dog, I just got reinvigorated with drifting just by driving a shitty car all over the place. And having fun drifting instead of, because everything he was doing was to pour into his program, and that's all. And then results were or weren't happening in the fashion they thought they were supposed to be in, and he was just like, that shit was burning me out. And now all of a sudden,
that what you're saying, man, it's just like what Ryan just said. That's when, like, I'm not sure what it was in his psyche, but a lot of people, like, you know, people talk, and he's like, you know, you should try this and try that, and that's why. I don't care about being a dick, but when people are like, yeah, man, like, I'm good, dude. I'm good. Let me do my thing.
You know how many fools told me to put a goddamn LS in this joint because I kept blowing manifolds on my wastegate? Just my wastegate was causing me problems. We couldn't get good tuning sessions. I used to put an LS in it. But once we got that shit together, this has been 10 years. We built it in 2010. This has been 10.
No, that shit ain't reliable though, man.
They'll say that. They'll say that. Nah. They say that because I don't drive it. And that's why I'd be like, dog, I'm fired up driving right now. It's really, you know, but the thing is, when I pull it out, all of that cap shit go to the wayside because I'm either on your door or I'm out running you. You know what I mean? It's just like, and with no power too. It's just like, you know, it's people will try to discourage you when you're at a low point. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how Misery Loves Company. They'll just, it ain't going right. You ain't did this. You ain't do that, man. Fuck it. Forget about it. Well, nah.
Man, I'll tell you, man, just thinking about this shit while we talking, man, all I'm looking for, because I mean, it's like I call, like I said, man, and the styles create the best fights. You watch UFC boxing and all that shit. So I'm looking forward to Ryan Litteral and Chelsea DeNofa. I want to see that fucking battle.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Ryan's gonna win. You know why? You know why Ryan's gonna win? I'm gonna tell you why Ryan's gonna win. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Ryan rides dirt bikes. Motorcycle riders are the best drivers in the planet.
You're damn right.
We spitting facts right now, man.
I'd be looking forward to that, bro. I'm looking forward to really doing what we need to do out there. I definitely haven't skimped 1 cent. One corner has not been cut on this car. Like I'm there. I'm there. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. It's gonna work out, or it ain't gonna work, dog. Like
I know.
We're going in. It's working, or it ain't working, dog. Like that's all out with it. Fuck it.
Hey,
like,
man.
let's go.
All in.
Let's
Push
go.
them all in.
I'm all in, baby.
But that's what's up. You've been keeping up with your. If people have been paying attention, you've been keeping up with your physical, your mental, your spiritual. You've been riding. That shit's keeping you fit and everything. I mean,
yeah,
it's time. It's time. You're gonna
time,
see a whole put together package do something very interesting. So, I'm excited, though.
Yeah, man, I'm checking out the. I can see that you got that vascular left arm, man, for that the e-brake.
For a minute, you know
So you got, that's the e-brake. That's on the American side. That's the e-brake. So this is my e-brake arm right here and shit. So.
I don't know, bro. I need to get a thigh master like you got, bro. I'm trying to get guns like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you do got a baby leg on there. Yeah, Donnie.
I've been off for about 2 months, bro. I've been so busy at the shop, bro. Yeah,
bro. I ain't been in the gym.
You got, dog? What's up?
I ain't been in the gym in I ain't been in the gym in 4 years, man.
Donnie just
I played football. I played ball at University of Maryland for 1 season, and so sports is what I before sports and cars were the same time, and then cars kind of took over, and I got in the military. I did Iraq, so I was always around gyms for free. I've never paid for a fucking membership in my life, man. And then honestly, man, it's like I stopped. I was 245 at one point, playing linebacker. And I was like, man, I ain't fucking playing ball no more. So I just pick up cranks and blocks and shit.
I was going to say, you don't use engine hoist. You just grab
dude, I'll move blocks. Like, you gotta find bolts and shit. Yeah. It's like,
put that on
that shit up, man. Like, that's how I stay. I pretty much pick up tires and put shit down. I use a lift sometimes, but sometimes you just pick that bitch up and move the mount. Man.
Oh man.
You know how it is. You put ARBY in. Sometimes you got the mount don't fall in there. You got to pick it up and slide it because it tilts like that and shit. And you gotta get that other one to fall in. So you pick up one side by the crank and you just slide it right in, man.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, man. Hey, man. I don't want to take too much of your time, man, because you're sitting in the car, man. Probably look like it's hot out there and shit, man. And again, man, this has been awesome, man. Like, the thing about it when you do this podcast. I mean, and it's nothing against anybody else out there that been on the podcast. Everybody's different, man. But we never talk. We've been on Facebook. Everybody fucking is everybody, so we don't know who's who on that shit, man. But it was good to talk to you. I never, got a chance to talk to you, man. And like that's one thing I could tell you right there. Like you say, winning is one part of the pie and all that stuff like that. But some dudes win and they like bumps in the log with their personality and shit. That's not marketable, man. So I can see yourself, man. Once you get up there, the podiums are normal. People are going to take notice, man, because your personality is sellable. And some guys just don't got it. You can be the baddest driver and kind of not saying like Daigo, but the English stuff and whatever side, he's just kind of a chill dude outside of the car. That's just Daigo. Inside of the car, you can hear that fucking dude's aggression through the exhaust notes, but that's inside of the car. So he's a really good driver, blah blah blah. But you know what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Watch some of Ryan's in-car videos. The motherfucker's rocking. He's in there rocking, doing his thing. I like when
just love it.
Yeah. That's exactly like I like when drivers are like when they know that they had a good run and they want to cheer themselves on with it. Fuck yeah, that was I like that. Instead of the dude that's just like
real quick on that, Lex, man, because that just made me think about something else. Because I asked all fellow pro drivers and anybody with program, whatever. And when you're lined up, man, what's going through your mind? What are you thinking about? What are you not thinking about?
Blood.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Cars.
Yeah.
I want your soul.
Like the drivers give it like I can see that.
Where's that door out? Let me get that.
Yeah.
I get you. That ass is mine.
I mean,
that ass is mine.
Yeah, because I could just imagine, man, in an alternate universe, or even like real, man, it's like you drivers look at each other and they nod like you're ready to go, you're ready to go. You look over and Ryan's just like this at you and shit.
Come back.
It's like
I remember Justin told me he used to ice motherfuckers on the line. He said 2011, 2012, he said he let them pull to the line first. And then he put his visor down. I ain't talking to nobody. Then you pull to the line and they, you get a motherfucker that you know that look.
Yeah.
Oh, he ain't looking at me. You know what I'm saying? It was like ice him, yo.
Yeah.
You know?
Or you just keep staring. You're already staring at him and shit. And he's like, that dude's fucking crazy and shit, man. Like,
yeah. But nah, dude. I like I said, man. I appreciate your vibe. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your style. I appreciate the cars that you build. Nissan with Nissan motors. Goddamn right. And you know,
right there.
Yeah, we got to get you over to Japan though, man. I'll definitely have something ready, man. something that's
Let's go. I
slidable.
wanna go.
All this Corona shit, yeah.
Only
They'll
if
come
Lex
to Atlanta
comes with
actually.
me, bro. Only if Lex
Yeah,
comes
Lex
with me,
gotta
bro.
come too, man.
So I
We
can
gotta
be that
come.
guy because I'm definitely smaller than both of you, and I just want to walk in the middle. That's all I can just have my arms around, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we just
Yo,
pull
Hey,
up.
that's all we gotta do.
For the
All you gotta
RB
do is
General. This is the RB
no.
RB
Hey man,
General
seriously,
right here,
if you
yo.
go down to Tokyo, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you go down to Tokyo, me and Lex walk in front of you. Just have
Yep.
the cameras, like motherfuckers will mob you. They don't know.
Oh
So
yeah.
people do that shit, man. I'm like, that shit's kind of lame, but it'll be fun to put on YouTube and shit like this.
Dude,
All you gotta have is a couple cameras and like two dudes walking in front of you, and you just have like some penny loafers on with a turtleneck or some shit.
No,
Yep.
man, no.
And
You
they-
gotta have.
it's
You
like-
gotta either have like, yeah, bro. We gotta have the loafers with the
Alright.
red socks, bro.
Alright.
With the fucking
'Cause you got,
pants,
it's like this
straight
Conor McGregor and shit.
Ink on, bro, with my fucking fedora and shit, with the like the cigarette holder, bro, like with the
Yeah,
cigarette at the end,
yeah.
you got the little holder and
Yeah.
shit. What's
Yeah.
up? What's up?
And I got
Where
Donnie
we going?
I got Donnie in the dirt bikes, so we got little dirt bikes to shred on now. So yeah, we gotta make a move.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Just let me know. Just let me know when it's gonna happen. I'll get some shit ready to go. I got a track 45 minutes
Yeah.
from my shop.
Oh,
It's we just show up and rock. There's 7 days a week. Ain't no
Yeah,
events we
fools
just go.
don't even be out there. This fool
Nah.
be having
Like I can go right
private
now.
sessions.
Yeah, I can go as soon as we click in. I can go right to the track right now. But I gotta make some money and shit. So I'll be here working on. I got a FD coming up for sale, Lex. A silver FD, 3S automatic.
Ooh,
So let me
automatic,
go.
you just
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's still an FD and everything, man. Yeah. I told him that, so I'm like, man, maybe 18, but that's gonna be a reach, but we'll see. But anyway, man, again, Ryan, thanks for your time.
Yeah,
bro.
man,
It's
we
been a
appreciate it.
thanks for
blast,
having me,
man.
guys. It was
Def-
fun. It was
definitely
fun.
wanna-
Hey,
yeah,
bro,
definitely
we'll
wanna-
link up.
after-
We'll link up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I want to like after this, because definitely get through the season, man. I'll be watching everything. We do the recaps. I start doing the live FD joints and everything because I can't drive right now for various reasons. So I'm not gonna be a hater and sour. Just my thing is I want to come over and actually do the do some local shit
Yeah.
and go up through the rankings, man. Because believe it or not, man, drifting over here, competition wise, D1 don't care about it no more. FD Japan is coming up. MSC is cool, but the shit's changed where everybody's driving. As you can see, Robbie was in America because
Yeah.
there was a reason. He won't tell you because Robbie's a nice guy, but there's a lot of bullshit, a lot of politics with everything, but extra politics with D1, and I can't stand for it. I'm not going to spend my money and already be counted out before I line up.
Right.
So I'm just not
For
going to
sure.
do that, man. So
For sure.
so definitely, man, get you over here, get some drifting done and everything, man. Look out for you. I'll get your the social media links and put all the stuff
Yeah.
down in the video.
And
man.
the
So,
YouTube,
again,
he
guys,
vlog.
go.
He vlogs.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
I'm gonna
been
throw it all
building
down in
his
there.
car,
Dude, I
and
took
he's
a little
been
break, but
documenting.
I'll be back
Yeah.
up when I get back to Atlanta.
Well, you know, you popular YouTubers can do that.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
shit,
yeah,
man.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Bro, and then on that too, bro, I just post up what I think is cool. Like I just literally
And
Yeah.
that's all
document
you
what the
need
fuck
to
we're
do.
doing.
That's exactly it. That's all you need to do. I think it's cool. This is what I'm posting. People that think it's cool with you, they can come to and check it out.
Yeah,
That's
if
what's
you don't
up.
like
No
it,
doubt.
then later.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Later.
Pretty much, man. That's how it works. Man, again, man, thank you guys for tuning in.
Mhm.
Everybody out there, again, thank you for joining the podcast or whatever. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Do what you gotta do.
And-
And like I say, my parting advice on everything, man, is do what you gotta do. If you gotta put some time into your shit, man, like Ryan had to pull out of the event, you gotta do that shit for yourself because so many times everybody, Ryan, Lex, the one more lap is when you blow your
That's-
shit. The one
yo,
more lap is when you
real shit.
wreck your shit.
Yeah.
How many times that shit comes true? So if you feel it in your gut and you're like, hey man, I think I probably should back off, follow that shit, man, because guarantee you the next lap is gonna put that shit into a wall.
Yeah.
Or not, you know what I'm saying? But it happens, but just don't let motherfuckers pressure you into
No.
your engine choice, your
No.
wheel choice, your car choice, your dildo shifting up choice, none of that shit. Run it if you want to run it.
And everybody always
everything, man.
remember. Salute the goddamn general to the RB Army,
Yeah,
goddamn.
yeah.
Salute the general.
Yeah, man. All right, guys.
All right, guys.
We Donnie sign out from Masao, Japan. We got Lex and Ryan from California. See you guys later. Peace.
Later.